Hello everyone from PCB, this is Kyle. I'm going to be doing a top 10 favorite Heroclix. This is going to be pretty much my favorite Heroclix, the reasons why I got into the game, and pretty much an overview of just the person that I am and the kind of clicks that I use for my games. So I'm going to start off with my number 10 favorite click. It's actually a click I haven't got to use yet just because of the point cost. But he is one of my favorite, I think, sculpts. I actually use him on a display as pretty much a statue, which is kind of a shame. But I do plan on using him for a game, possibly in the future. And my number 10 is actually going to be Shuma-Gorath. Shuma-Gorath is actually pretty freaking cool. He has a power where at the beginning of the game, choose the highest point character, and as long as that character is on the board, he's going to heal a click at the beginning of the turn. He's also Mystic and Power Cosmic, so he's going to be pretty much difficult to try to take out. Alright. Now for my number 9 favorite is actually a newer figure. He is a con figure, so I did actually have to pay a little bit to get him. And that's going to be the Doomsday figure. He's really cool. He's got stop clicks for every click of his dial. Pretty much he gets harder to hit if you keep hitting him. He gets adapted tokens, so he gets basically a +3 to his defense, which can make him unbearable. Unless you have somebody that can go through stop clicks, it's very, very difficult. And now my number 8 click, kind of an older figure. It was a figure that another member, PCB, Brandon, had used quite often, and I actually grew very fond of him because of the powers and the abilities they can do. And that's going to be the Arkham Origins Deathstroke. With Deathstroke, he can actually use Incap and deal penetrating damage, or not penetrating damage, but damage as well. So you get the action token, and then you also get up to 4 damage, which it has exploit weakness, which can be pretty bad. Now my number 7 click is kind of an odd character. He's actually part of the Deadpool set, the original Deadpool set, that is. His name is, I believe it's pronounced Tiamat. This figure has a move and attack ability, which now is, it's still good, but with him he's got a charge. He also has a trait called Champion Steed, where if he uses charge and hits, he can use it as a free action, or he can be given any action as a free action, which, of course, why not charge? And with him being Power Cosmic and all, if he charges and hits, he can also remove an action token, which just makes him charge and hit over and over again. And my number 6, this is a very meta piece. He actually came out of rotation recently, so not overly costly, I guess that's the word. But everybody knows him as Balls Fury. This was a figure I actually pulled. I think all the other figures I actually had to purchase, which this was the first ones on here that I've actually pulled. Actually, looking at it, I think I only pulled one other figure. Balls Fury, he can use a 9 range Prob control, and he also can turn off powers, which most people just use them as a sniper rifle. Pair him up with WizKid, you get +1 to range, I think attack and damage. So you can pretty much do anything with this guy. Weasel even works. So now we get into my top 5. Number 5 is a figure that, again, my friend Brandon also gave me. It was actually one of his figures that I happened to like a lot, and I started really liking the character because of the Injustice video game. And that's Solomon Grundy from the Superman and the Legion of Superheroes set. With Solomon Grundy, if he's in printed hindering terrain, he can actually heal a click each turn, which with him in charge, I used to just charge and try to find hindering, put him right back into that hindering terrain, so he's always, if not top dial, near top dial. It's pretty gnarly. Alright, number 4 is actually going to be a click that I had won as a prize from the Civil War set, and love pairing him up with just a bunch of people, and that's going to be Namor. Namor I'll pair up with King Aquaman, pair him up with Aquaman, Black Knight, or the Black Lantern Aquaman. I'll also pair him up with the King Shark. They all have Atlantis keywords, might as well get the +1. With, yeah, I'm going to call him Aquaman. No, King Namor, he can also pop out Atlantean warriors, which, of course, with the Avengers Defenders War, I can have those tokens out. I also got tokens made for him. Just an overall great piece. And now my number 3 is another figure that, of course, Brandon had gotten me. It was one of the figures I really wanted from Avengers Defenders War, ironically, and that is Moon Knight. Gnarly piece, stop click. At the end of his dial, you can also use regen. So you hit that stop click. As long as you roll pretty well for the regen, you're going to keep hitting those stop clicks, which is going to make them a pain in the ass. And every time I believe it's a friendly character gets hit, you can remove an action token from him, which just makes him ultra playable. Down to my number 2. My number 2, at the time I had traded for, I think I traded KC Green Lantern for him, and I got a couple other pieces with him, but this was my main one from World's Finest, and that's going to be Shazam. Shazam is a 15-speed hypersonic with shape change top dial, and then you have the super senses with the KC team ability. Ultra playable. If I just feel like being a dick, I'm going to use him. Not necessarily always going to work, especially now you can't copy Mystics, which makes him a little bit harder to team up with, but Casey, I'm never going to go wrong. And now is my number 1 click. This was the click that actually made me start to play Heroclix. Love 2 figures, 2 of my favorite figures, or comic book heroes. My favorite one is actually Spawn. Number 2 and 3 are basically combined into one figure for this click, and that's going to be the Fear itself, Colossus Juggernaut. I actually have multiple memories of playing this figure where I charged through walls and hit somebody with ultra heavies, which now, of course, is golden, but this figure got so much gameplay. It meant everything as soon as I got him. And honestly, this is the figure that got me into Heroclix, so I can't say much more than just that. And just look at this sculpt. Oh, it's a piece of work. Well, that's going to be my top 10 list. I believe Brandon and Chris are also going to be making their top 10 list, so they should be coming up soon. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and just remember, if you roll critical miss, don't forget to prop control that bitch. Thanks.